The time is 12 o'clock. Here is the midday news. First, the top stories. Ogun Assembly demands a task force to enforce the new anti-land grabbing law. Disagreement in presidency on whether Nigerians should travel to US. Walter Onohe inaugurated as Nigeria's 17th Chief Justice. Senate asks customs to suspend planned raid on vehicles without duty payments. On the foreign scene, gun battle underway at Afghan military hospital in Kabul. And robbers made away with containers of cash out South Africa's busiest airport. Good afternoon, I am Chiene Ebro, bringing you the details of the news shortly. Now the news in detail. Ogun State House of Assembly has asked the state government to immediately set up a task force to enforce the recently passed law against land grabbing and illegal encroachment on land in the state. The Assembly, who recently passed a bill providing a maximum of death sentence for convicted land grabbers, expressed concerns that the state is still facing the rising cases of land grabbing despite the law passed last November. Chairman House Committee on Land and Housing, B. Adeleye, during the Assembly's plenary, says that over 750 persons have been rendered homeless because of the activities of land grabbers in the state. The Speaker, Suraj Adekunbi, describes the situation as unfortunate and asked the state government to immediately comply with the House resolution on the proposed task force to enforce the anti-land grabbing law. The majority leader, Adeyinka Mafe, moving the motion on the resolution, also asked security operatives to restore peace in Makun, Shagam, and other communities invaded by the suspected land grabbers. The Deputy Speaker, Kunle Oluomo, and the Minority Leader, Olawale Alauza, as well as Razak Odunto and Ganiyu Oyedeji, supported the resolution. Two people have lost their lives in a lone accident at Obafemi Junction along the Sonchiun-Abeokuta Expressway in Ogun State. The accident involves a white Formatic Mercedes-Benz marked SMK 435EH, and the two deceased are its occupants. Spokesman of the Ogun State Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Corps, Trace, Commander Babatunde Akinbiyi, says the accident, which occurred around 3:01 p.m. on Tuesday, was caused by overspeeding. Akinbiyi explains that the driver of the vehicle lost control of the vehicle, which somersaulted to the other side of the road, throwing out the driver and the other occupants in the process as they failed to fasten their seatbelts. He added that the vehicle was heading to Shagam while the body of the deceased, who are both male, had been taken to the morgue of the state hospital, Ijayi, at Belkuta. A sharp disagreement has developed in the presidency over the advisory issued by the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Foreign Affairs and Diaspora, asking Nigerians to avoid traveling to the US. Reacting to the travel advisory, Foreign Affairs Minister Godfrey Onyema asked Nigerians to ignore it. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Foreign Affairs and Diaspora, Mrs. Abike Dabiri Eriwa, in a statement on Monday, had advised Nigerians seeking to travel to the US to suspend the decision unless it is absolutely necessary. Dabiri Eriwa, who describes Donald Trump's new immigration policy as still uncertain, explains that Nigerians with valid US visas are being denied entry into America and are being returned to Nigeria. But the Foreign Affairs Minister, addressing newsmen on Tuesday in Abuja, says no Nigerian with valid US visa has been refused entry into America. Onyema insists that only his office is a credible source of information on Nigeria's relations with foreign countries. The minister explains that he had been in touch with high-level US officials who told him that no Nigerian with valid visa had been turned back. Another senator has been defected to APC. Senator Ovie Omo Agege, representing Delta State Central Senatorial District, defected from the Labour Party to join APC. Announcing his defection on the floor of the Senate, Omo Agege explains that he took the decision following the crisis in the Labour Party and directive from members of his constituency. With his defection, only PDP senators are now the opposition to the ruling APC in the Senate. Last month, Senators Andy Uba from Anambra State and Nelson Effiong from Akwa Ibom State also defected from PDP to APC. Last year, PDP also lost two senators, Joshua Darie and Yele Omogawa, to APC. Justice Walter Onohe has been inaugurated as Nigeria's new Chief Justice. Acting President Yemi Osinbajo performed the ceremony at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, with the Senate President Bukola Saraki, ministers, former Chief Justices of Nigeria, and Supreme Court Justices in attendance. After taking an oath of office, Osinbajo decorated him with the Grand Commander of Order of Niger Award. Osinbajo told him that President Muhammadu Buhari asked him to remind him that he is assuming office at a time when all arms of government were suffering from the loss of confidence by members of the public. Nigeria's 17th new Chief Justice pledged his loyalty to the country, promising to continue keeping to his oath of office. Kaduna State government has directed law enforcement agencies to arrest beggars, commercial motorcycle riders and hawkers on the streets of Kaduna metropolis and other major towns in the state. The state government issued the directive after the meeting of the State Security Council held ahead of the takeoff of Kaduna Airport as an alternative to Abuja Airport later today. Chief Press Secretary to the state governor, Samuel Aramo, says the decision was taken to safeguard lives and properties in the state. The state anti-begging law came into effect since May 2016, but it has not been enforced. Shortly after the directive was unveiled, hundreds of beggars under the auspices of the Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities besieged the government house in Kaduna, asking Governor Nasir El-Rufai to rescind the order. The Senate has directed the Nigeria Customs Service to suspend the deadline it issued to all vehicles plying roads to ensure they have evidence of duty payment. Customs last week had said that its operatives as from April 16 will begin impounding vehicles whose owners fail to provide evidence they pay import duty. The Senate issued the directive to Customs following a motion from the Senate Deputy Leader Bala Na'ala, who says the implementation of the policy will have a serious implication on the economy. Senate President Bukola Saraki asked Customs to suspend the implementation of the policy and to appear before the Senate Committee on Customs to make clarifications of the policy. You're still listening to the Midday News from Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next, we bring you foreign, business, and sports news. Please do stay with us. On the foreign scene, attackers have entered the largest military hospital in Kabul, and a gun battle is underway, according to the Afghan Defense Ministry. President Ashraf Ghani said the attack trampled all human values. Between 3 and 5 attackers armed with automatic weapons and hand grenades also entered the hospital and are taking up positions on the 3rd and 4th floors. A defense ministry spokesman said an unknown number of attackers were inside the hospital compound exchanging fire with army units. A second explosion was heard during the fighting. At least 13 people injured in the attack have been taken to other hospitals. Tolo News Television reports, citing health officials. 16 people were killed in dual Taliban suicide attacks in Kabul a week ago. Armed thieves masquerading as police have carried out a robbery at Johannesburg's International Airport in South Africa. The thieves are said to have driven into a restricted zone and taken containers of cash. Estimates vary, but reports suggest that millions of dollars in different currencies may have been stolen. Airports company South Africa that operates or Tambo Airport, the continent's busiest, confirmed a robbery had taken place. Guards from a private security firm protecting the valuable cargo were stopped by the robbers who were traveling in a vehicle marked with police. There have also been reports of other high-value cargo robberies in recent years at the airport. Next is the business news. The first phase of the multi-billion-dollar Lagos-Kano standard gauge rail project is to be completed by 2018. The first phase will link Lagos with Ibadan through Abeokuta, Ogun State capital, with an extension to the Apapa Ports Complex in Lagos Metropolis. Acting President Yemi Osinbajo, performing the project's groundbreaking ceremony at the headquarters of the Nigerian Railway Corporation in Lagos, says the national rail project will create 500,000 new jobs and also haul up to 3.2 million metric tons of goods yearly. This, according to the acting president, will reduce the pressure of heavy-duty truck on the nation's highways, thereby extending the lifespan. The historic ceremony was attended by governors of Lagos, Ogun, and Oyo states, as well as the Solid Mineral Minister Kayode Fayemi and its Transportation Minister Rotimi Amechi. Finally, sports news. Stationary Stars FC supporters are optimistic that the club could be revived following influential backing from government quarters. Minister of Youth and Sports made the plea to the Lagos Governor Akinwumi Ambode during their tour of the National Stadium in the country's commercial city last week to revive the football club, which has been troubled since the 1990s. The Stationary Stars Supporters Trust has applauded the minister for adding his voice to those calling for the revival of the club. The Supporters Trust, which is registered as a cooperative multi-purpose society, believes that Dalon's call is constructive, timely, and also capable of not just accelerating the return of the team, but also facilitating the revival of such older legacy clubs as Levantes United, Raka Rovers, and many others. Stationary Stores won the Nigeria Top Flight, then known as the Pro League Division 1 in 1992, only to be relegated the following after falling short of the league rules by failing to honor matches for no genuine reasons. That was the midday news, and just before we go, the major stories once again. Ogun Assembly demanded a task force to enforce the new anti-land grabbing law. Disagreement in presidency on whether Nigerians should travel to US. Walter Onohe inaugurated as Nigeria's 17th Chief Justice. Senate asked Customs to suspend planned raid on vehicles without duty payments. On the foreign scene, we told you that gun battle underway at Afghan military hospital in Kabul, and robbers made away with containers of cash at South Africa's busiest airport. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. Thank you very much for listening. I am Chede Ibom. Good afternoon and do have a great day.